Hey guys, what's up? This is Oliver here, and we are going to play a game called Featherbent. Now I heard about this a while ago, but I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet because I wasn't entirely sure what it was, but I'm feeling in the Homestuck mood, so we're gonna do this. Start game.
Season's end heralds the beginning of celebration.
Ooh.
Citizens across the strata engage in long-standing tradition filled with stories, drink, and song. Patrons of the damp underbrush take solace beneath the shade of their natural darkness, spending the day gathering friends and family under a host's roof before shutting the doors and windows and regaling around a quiet fire. The leafy umbrella of the canopy provides illuminated residence for those more detail-oriented in their decor. The collectors, the hoarders, the poachers, any strong enough to defend their stead, earn the right to much larger living spaces, with far more room to decorate. Those housed in the windy heights of the emergent hold an annual gala reserved for the social elite, famous for its glorious feast and black-tie dance held in an extravagant open court.
Alright, so I'm just gonna say I know almost nothing about Featherbent, but right now looking at this, I wonder if the social elite and stuff is basically the high bloods from Homestuck. That would make sense to me.
Station, members across all echelons partook in festivities, celebrating the passing of dark days and the sunlight yet to come. Preparations for the sweep began precisely 24 days in advance. A young man stands in his nest, and it just so happens that today is this young man's preparation day.
Oh man, is it John Egbert?
He whistles as he works, and he is still self-conscious of his song.
Or maybe it's Carcat? Who knows?
The live-in population of sundries he's collected during his travels serve as his audience. Books are strewn across the desks. Captured firebugs hang from the ceiling. A teapot sits atop a small pit in the middle of the floor. The understory tree hollow is decorated with all sorts of reflective minerals, dark blue rocks that shine indigo in just the right light, while mushrooms whose roots tangled well into stone lend their multicolored glow to the floor of the crook. The scent of last night's rain clings to the bark of his nesting walls, thick and musty, familiar and comforting. John's tune carries along
it is
once
John.
more, but the melody that drifts through the air still doesn't match the one that plays so perfectly in his head. Suddenly, a familiar voice.
Ooh, wonder who this is.
Careful who you let hear that, John. Wouldn't want to mislead a girl, would we?
Oh snap, is that Vriska? Slender hand with blue painted fingernails curls across the room's entrance curtain, the luminescent mushrooms framing the doorway tint the outside of the young woman's silhouette ice blue. She is clad in the leather and loose cotton stylings of her legendary seafaring ancestry. Yeah, that's totally Vriska. She gives an unwilling toss of silky raven hair, as wild as a spark in her eyes, and the smile she passes John glints brighter than the gold dangling from her ears.
Hey, Vriska! What are you doing here?
What? Can't a girl visit her best friend without being interrogated?
Aw, they're
Oh,
best
you
friends.
know I didn't mean anything by it. You're always welcome here.
That's adorable, they're best friends. I totally appreciate it. Also, the soundtrack for this is really good. Oh man.
Come on in.
She ducks upon entering the crook, her hard boots clicking against wood as she walks. She ruffles her storm gray feathers sleek and preen, trying to adjust the humble space of John's nest. John takes a look at Vriska's wings and self-consciously runs his fingers through the loose, fluffy blue of his own. A proud member of the hunting class, Vriska Circuit belonged to an order different than John's. Hunters were the predatory dominants whose government maintained a firm rule over the strata. By default, they were built larger, stronger, and much more fierce, with a culture that determined social status by feather caste. Okay, so yeah, basically the blood caste system from the original webcomic. I like that. John's order came in all sorts of colors. Vriska's came in only 12. Unable to get comfortable, Vriska scrunches her nose.
Man, I still don't understand how you can live in such a cramped dump. I can barely stretch my wings in here.
I don't know what you're talking about. This place is cozy.
Ugh, and it reeks too. Everything smells like mud.
Okay, Vriska, calm down.
At least you don't have to worry about people challenging you for this place. I can't think of anyone who'd fight you over such a crappy nest, honestly.
Oh, damn. Vriska laying it on thick.
Dude, you don't just start insulting a guy's home as soon as you walk through the front door. Cut me some slack, alright? This was my dad's place.
Aw, so it's inherited. That's adorable.
I've been trying to keep it looking good for when he comes back.
John, your dad's been gone for like 5 years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so?
Are you trying to say he's not coming back? I hope he comes back. Hopefully Dad Egbert makes a return.
Okay then.
I guess that's one way to change the topic.
Look, all I'm saying is that if you had a nicer nest, then maybe you'd have a pretty girl to spend the sweep with this year round.
Ooh. Well, who knows? Maybe he'll find someone anyway.
You mean besides you?
Smooth.
No, but seriously, I worry about you. When was the last time you went on a date?
Well, You really think my nest is the reason why girls don't like me?
Aw.
Well, there's that. Plus your unkempt feathers, and your messy hair, and the fact you're kind of an asshole.
Hey, you're an asshole too, Vriska.
What's wrong with my hair?
I love how that's the one thing. He's like, hey, stop.
Just telling it like it is, John.
Hey, I don't see you going around inviting hot guys to your nest for the sweep either.
Obviously not.
Hey! Why am I staying with you over the sweep again anyway? Weren't you seeing that one hunter a while ago? What was his name again? Thomas? Travis?
Tavros, maybe?
Ugh, who cares about him? He was about as much of a hunter as I am a perch.
Oh! Their conversation is interrupted by the high-pitched whistling of a boiling teapot.
Hey look, your water's done. You know what would be perfect right about now? A nice cup of tea.
Oh, sure thing. Let me get that for you.
The pot is suspended over a special breed of reddish-orange heat-generating mushrooms whose collective warmth strengthen with their number. The pile inside the pit is just enough to get the water boiling. Oh, that's neat. Heat-generating mushrooms. That actually sounds pretty fancy. Vriska folds her legs to sit before reaching for a silk pouch on the floor. John lifts the top of the teapot for her, and she carefully shakes out some of the leaves from inside the bag. Once it steeps, the tea is poured into the only 2 cups John owns. Aw, get some more silverware, boy. It has been just the 2 of them for quite some time. May the sweep bring you to such great heights, he laughs, raising his cup. Don't look down, she replies. Her smile crinkles the corner of her eyes as their cups clink.
When celebrating the sweep, it is customary for a guest to bring their host a gift, a token as thanks for providing nest during the festivities.
Oh.
A hunter with a fondness for tea shouldn't be too difficult to shop for. Yet when the best leaves in a nation grow in a little-known area restricted as protected territory by the Imperial Guards, one must weigh the value of a token against the dangers of retrieving it.
Ooh.
He treads across the forest floor, knowing she is well worth the risk.
Who treads?
By virtue of being the lowest story, the forest floor sees very little sunlight during the day, slipping effortlessly into the depths of pitch black by nightfall. Visibility consists of acres of shadow, punctuated by patches of light. The atmosphere is desolate and murky, with thin films of fog draped as motionless curtains in the thick, humid air. The floor provides no proper home for any friendly soul, as citizens of the strata are often reminded. A legion of Imperial guards are stationed at the borders to keep the innocents out and to protect them from the violent predators lurking within the deep. Only the stealthiest, the bravest, and the most cunning could possibly make it through here, John thinks to himself, as the gentle breeze crashes a single red feather against his boot.
Oh, so John's sneaking in there. John leans down to pick it up. Bright red. What a curious color. Red itself was by no means uncommon among perches. One of John's closer friends even sported them himself. Yet never before had John encountered a shade so vibrant. I think one of his closer friends is meaning Dave? John glances up and catches a sight of a matching feather caught in the branches of a bush up ahead. He collects it as well. Bright red is tangled in the massive gnarled roots of the trees. A few more identical feathers have gathered into a crook further down, with even more in the tall grass on the far end. If the guards never touched the floor, who did these belong to? The hunter's feather cast didn't come in red, which meant the plumage must have belonged to a fellow perch, someone of John's own kind. Another perch made it down here too. A sudden jolt of excitement rushes through John as he continues adding to the bouquet of a complete stranger's sheddings. Oh man, is he gonna try and pick up this perch? Cautious not to stumble upon the eyes or tail of anything deadly, he strays further away from his path in search of the soul, following the trail of red deeper and deeper into the congested mess of trees. There's a break in the forest. John reaches a small patch of clearing illuminated by thin beams of sunlight piercing through the shadows. The space carries a strange sense of calm and serenity, a spotlight of still haven written deep within the maze of wood and leaves. Red feathers litter the area. The source seems to be a visible opening at the base of a tree, just large enough for a person to squeeze into if they tried. A strange weapon rests in the grass nearby. I'm gonna examine the opening of the tree base. John crouches down to peek into the opening made by the base of the tree. What lies beneath appears to be a small dugout. It's difficult to see inside at first. He lets his eyes adjust. The dim light of a single dying mushroom glows softly in the far corner. In the opposite corner, however, rests the silhouette of a figure curled up within itself in a twist of cords and rags poorly fashioned into a makeshift cloak.
Whoa, you made it to the floor too? Imperial guards sure do suck at their job. Nice to meet you. My name's John Egbert. What's yours? And what are you doing on the floor anyway? Look, you better not have taken all the good tea leaves. I woke up before dawn to make it down here.
Really? You're worried about tea? I mean, look at how menacing he looks.
You know, you aren't moving very much. Are you dying or something? Did you fly all the way down here just to die?
Oh no, I hope not.
Not that there's anything wrong with personal preference or whatever, but if I was dying, I'd do it somewhere way more hilarious. Like up in a canopy fountain or something. Then I'd become a ghost and I'd haunt the fountain until they renamed it after me.
Me too, John. Me too.
Look, all I'm saying is that this is a really crummy place to die. And you probably should have thought this through a little more.
Really? That's the lecture you're giving?
I'm not dying, you dumb fuck.
So you did take all the good tea leaves.
What? No, I don't even drink tea.
You know, for a couple of seconds there, I thought we could actually be friends.
Is there something you wanted to accomplish by coming here, besides making my already unyielding state of misery marginally more difficult to deal with?
Well, the sweep's coming up. I need to grab token for my friend Vriska, and the best tea leaves grow on the forest floor.
Token? You're not from around here. How did you make it past the guards?
They keep their rotation schedules pretty tight, but there's a path around the back that you need some pretty sharp maneuvering skills to get past. It takes a few hours both ways, and it's really easy to hurt yourself if you're not careful.
Are you giving him tips to sneak out? Is that what's happening here? I'm cool with this. Sneak out with the mysterious bird person.
Thankfully, I'm pretty much the best flyer I know. How did you make it past the monsters?
Monsters? Is that what they're calling us now?
Huh? No, what I'm saying is I've been tea picking and predator dodging for years, and I've never seen you before.
Oh, is he one of them?
I've been down here for years. Don't pin your astounding lack of fucking awareness on me.
I love this.
What I mean is, this is the first time I've ever met anyone else.
That's probably because your funny-looking tea leaves only grow on the eastern border. No one down here gives a shit about the eastern border because there's nothing but fucking tea leaves over there.
He seems pretty angry about the tea.
See, when you're forced to spend all of your time scavenging for food and water, making a good cup of tea gets pretty low on the list.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
There are other people living here? Wait, is that why you're sick? Because you haven't been eating?
Who says I'm sick?
Well, your feathers are all falling out for one thing. It's not molting season, so that narrows it down. You have your wings all bundled up too. Are you too weak to fly?
I don't know where the fuck you get off thinking you can stumble upon my territory uninvited while flaunting around your pity like you're proud of the lovingly brandished olive branch you have stuck up your ass. But I can assure you, I'm just fucking fine. Thanks for the concern.
I love Carcat so much, by the way. Just putting that out there right now. He's probably my favorite troll in Homestuck, if not one of my favorites. Like, Carcat and Solix are my two faves, but oh my god, this is beautiful writing for him.
Even though the royalty is responsible for casting us down to the shit end of the strata without a fucking paddle, everyone here still celebrates the holidays enacted by royal decree. They get into their cute little cozy fucking communities and help each other prepare for the sweep celebration. Resources go drier than normal. I take myself out of the running for a while.
Look, I'm pretty much 100% sure everyone with half a brain knows the royalty is made up of a bunch of snooty, elitist buttholes. But would you really rather get all righteous about them instead of joining everyone else in celebration and, I don't know, not starving?
I love how, like, they're talking and Carcat's just, like, swearing up a storm, and John's meanest phrase in this entire sentence is snooty, elitist buttholes.
That sounds dumb.
Don't pretend you know anything about what I've been through or what I'm doing here, you ignorant shitheel.
Keep the insults coming, I love it.
You can keep your tragic, mysterious past to yourself, dude. Fact of the matter is, you could probably use a muffin.
Are you providing muffins? No? Then kindly go the fuck away.
Give him a muffin, ask him when the last time he had a muffin was, promise to give him a muffin at a later date, ask if he's allergic to nuts. I'm gonna give him a muffin. He asks you for a muffin. You reach into your pouch and attempt to give him a muffin, but it turns out the muffin doesn't really exist. Where the muffin originally stood, a picture of a muffin rests in its place. The glint in the mysterious stranger's eyes is very distinctly muffin-geared. You keep the picture tucked away, wisely deciding not to antagonize him.
When was the last time you even ate a muffin?
This morning. Can't you see I'm fucking swimming in baking ingredients? What kind of fucking question even is that?
Okay, I need you to calm the fuck down with the sarcasm there, sir.
Okay, yeesh. Sorry. Are you allergic to nuts?
Huh?
Because I am. I am very deathly allergic to nuts.
Oh my god, that's not how you start a conversation. I thought you were gonna ask him because you were gonna be like, are you allergic to nuts? Then I won't bake you muffins with nuts in them.
Is giving me the information I need to kill you some kind of bullshit trust thing, or...
Death by nuts. Gross.
God.
So, are you inviting me to your nest if I have muffins?
Ooh.
You don't have any muffins.
But I could have muffins. You want me to come back sometime with muffins?
Sure, come back before I starve to death with a delicate pink hand-weaved basket full of life-saving muffins, and we can begin our journey into the most meaningful fucking friendship the Strata has ever seen.
If he comes back with an actual pink handweave basket, I will be so happy.
You like cranberries?
I fucking love cranberries.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of my nest.
The figure turns away, wrapping his blankets tighter around himself. Looks like this conversation is over.
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
He doesn't seem too keen on talking much more. Maybe it's time to let him brood on his own for a little while. It takes 45 minutes and a brief run-in with the snake, but John manages to retrace his steps, making it back to what he now knows as the eastern border of the forest floor. He packs off as many tea leaves as he can while curiosity nibbles at his thoughts. Jesus, I can't read today. He decides to ask Friska a thing or two the next time he gets a chance.
Thick, aged parchment of an ancient treasure map serves as the oversized carpet of Vriska's nest, its tattered borders curling scrolls along the edges of the walls. Inks of all colors count numbers of steps, marking miles and dashed pathways to small cities and major landmarks long lost to the claws of sweeps gone by. Spiderwebs woven between high corners cast patterned shadows across the nest, a trait which would normally give the scene a gloomy atmosphere. Yet piles of precious gems and golden coins sparkle around the nest as decoration, glistening warmly in the dark. While it was tradition for hosts to celebrate their year's prosperity by placing their most significant treasures on display and showing off their collection of wealth to their visitors, a certain patron of Vriska's nest is too preoccupied to be impressed.
See, you complain about my nest being smelly and cramped, but yours has cobwebs everywhere.
Rude.
And
Spiders are gross.
fuck you! I was raised in a nest with lots of spiders, asshole. They make me feel at home.
Do you ever miss your mom?
Teach your kids the basics and leave. That's just the way hunters do things, John. Sure, sometimes I think about what things would be like if she were still around, but being on your own builds strength and character. Without that, I wouldn't be who I am today. Wouldn't have made a name for myself out here with all these other hunters. Wouldn't have won this nest in the fight against the poor sucker who had it before. Heck, I wouldn't have been able to defend it for this long. Not that it's a surprise people keep challenging me for it. I mean, look how sweet this setup is.
He literally just said he hated the cobwebs.
Yeah.
What's the matter now?
I don't know. Perches don't work the way hunters do. I mean, we fly away from home when we're of age and stuff, but our parents aren't supposed to just disappear. It's another sleep without my dad, and sometimes I wonder if he's ever coming back for me.
See, this is what I've been trying to talk to you about. Look, maybe your dad comes back, maybe he doesn't. In the meantime, show some goddamn independence. Move on. Get over it. Show him you can do just fine on your own. What would he think if he knew you were wasting your life moping around waiting for him?
Oh, shit.
Live for the people who are here for you, not for the people who could be.
You know, that's pretty solid life advice.
Yeah, I know.
Smiling, Vriska brushes a curled finger beneath his chin, tipping his head up until their eyes meet.
Chin up, John. You don't look down, remember? Besides, you have me. What more could you possibly need? I mean, other than those perches you're friends with. Like that obnoxious Redwing who lives in the phonograph. He still owes me token, by the way, so if you still want him here for the sweep, you better get him to cough up soon.
Oh, damn.
Why couldn't you invite the Greenwing who spends all her time inventing those weird little gadgets? You know, the one always off on those adventures? I like her.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah, Jade's cool. I wish she could have made it, but she's been completely obsessed with these signals she's been picking up from across the forest lately. There's no stopping her when she sniffs out a trail.
Ooh, so she's an explorer. I like that.
Drat. Maybe next time, then.
Shrugging, Vriska walks to the center of the nest, where a ceremonial bottle stands in the middle of a small table. She arranges a small mess of gold around it. John always found it a real wonder just how much loot Vriska managed to collect from unsuspecting ships, especially considering he didn't even know where the nearest lake was. He knew the elaborately decorated bottle, however, was the hierarchy's annual gift for all canopy dwellers, a strong wine specifically harvested and distributed for the festivities, made to only be uncorked during the sweep celebration. John couldn't even bring himself to look forward to the wine. He still had so many unanswered questions about the forest floor and the curious stranger he'd found there that morning. If there were predators lurking around down there, the guy might be in danger, doubly so considering his health left him in no state to defend himself properly. Unsightly as it was, that sickle provided no favors lying out abandoned in the grass like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that was his weapon that I just chose not to examine because I was like, nah, screw it, we're gonna talk to the guy.
Vriska, what kind of monsters are on the forest floor?
John notices how Vriska tightens her wings and keeps herself facing away from him. Worried that he might have made her suspicious, he hurries to continue.
I'm only wondering because it's really weird how many Imperial guards are stationed so low in the strata just to keep people away. It sounds super suspicious if you ask me. It makes me think they're running some freaky military experiments or something. Either that or whatever is down there is really, really dangerous.
It's Area 51, John. That's what it is.
Don't be dumb. There's nothing on the forest floor. Nothing that interesting, anyway. Sure, there are some predators down there, but between you and me, it's mostly just a bunch of outcasts and losers who couldn't survive in Maine society. Believe it or not, it takes a lot to cut it up here, John. Even in your crummy understory. If you can't take the heat, you hit the floor to get out of the kitchen.
But isn't it illegal to go down there? I mean, how are people living on the floor if you can't even get past the border without being thrown out by guards?
Why are you so interested in the forest floor all of a sudden?
Why are you being so touchy about it?
Ooh.
Because the floor is Pyrope's jurisdiction. You know, Pyrope, the hunter whose idea of fun is making public spectacles out of hangings and leaving the bodies to rot mid-air.
Oh shit, so that's what Terezi does.
If you have questions about how she's running things, why don't you go ask her?
No thanks. I choose breathing.
Good choice, man.
But didn't you two used to be friends or something?
Keywords used to. Rivalries are settled, debts are repaid, people break even. You move on. And you keep moving on by not sticking your nose in places it doesn't belong.
Yeah, real subtle, Vriska.
Okay, I get the hint. No sneaking, no snooping, no asking questions.
Let me guess, you're still gonna sneak and snoop and ask questions, right?
Great. Glad we had this conversation.
Vriska playfully nudges John's arm as she passes him, en route to another box of pirate-themed decor across the room. Oh hey, quick save, nice. No?
Quick question though.
Okay, there we go. I was like, why isn't it letting me continue? Got it.
Fire away.
Would you mind helping me make some muffins for tomorrow? I'll give you half the batch if you let me use some of your ingredients.
Are they cranberry?
Duh.
Then I'd be happy to.
Nice.
Now, where to find a pink basket?
He's gonna do it. Alright, well, that was part 1 of Featherbent, I guess. I'm really invested in this already. Like, man. So, yeah, I'll probably be doing part 2 and 3 of this as well, considering that's all that's out at this point. But, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's a really interesting story. I don't know how I didn't get into Featherbent before, especially when I was, like, really deep into Homestuck. But, oh, nice. I was wondering who did Carcat's voice because he sounded familiar. I didn't realize it was Case. Neato. Alright, well, I will see you.